Should you take Social Security early so you can crush it like Sarasota Tim? This financial planner must not be a subscriber of Sarasota Tim because his clients regret taking Social Security early. For those of you who don't know who Sarasota Tim is, he is a YouTuber who has encouraged people to take Social Security early in the past because that is what he did. Sarasota Tim has routinely said he is crushing it. He even calls his truck the Crusher. He seems like an interesting guy. He certainly is more of an entertainer than I am. Our personalities are pretty much completely opposite. I want you to understand I don't agree with Sarasota Tim giving financial advice. Everyone's life and financial situation is unique. I made a video in the past as a reaction to his advice. You can look it up here on YouTube if you want to watch it. Anyway, I read an interesting article on Yahoo Finance put out by Go Banking Rates and written by G. Brian Davis, titled, "I'm a Financial Planner. Here's why my clients regret taking Social Security at age 62. The author of this article referenced Justin Haywood, who is the president of Haywood Wealth Management. He sees some of his older clients resort to draining their retirement accounts faster than they should due to their low monthly benefits from Social Security. He went on to say they often have to dip deeper into their retirement savings to maintain their desired lifestyle, which can deplete their nest egg more quickly than anticipated. It becomes especially visible as they navigate through their 70s and beyond. Ladies and gentlemen, I truly worry about people who deplete their retirement savings and then they have to figure out how to survive in their 70s and beyond. Some of these people may not be able to go back to work because of physical or mental decline, but they may not be able to survive on Social Security alone. What do they do then? This is the problem that is going to plague many people here in America in the future. I don't think it is going to get any better. I truly think it is going to get worse as time goes on. Many Americans don't even have retirement savings. Some have to stop working for a variety of reasons, and they only have Social Security. Many of these individuals still have debt. Some are renters and are at the mercy of their landlord who could raise their rent to a level they can no longer afford. It is a real mess for countless Americans. Now listen up, Sarasota Tim disciples. I'm going to share a quote with you from the author of this article. He said, "If you retire at age 62 and immediately start taking benefits, you not only collect less in benefits each month, but you also miss out on future earnings. Workers who keep cranking until 65 or 70 have longer to pad their nest eggs on top of delaying benefits. When they do retire, they can enjoy both higher monthly benefit checks from Social Security and a larger retirement savings to draw down." Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not giving anyone financial advice, but I think what the author has said here makes a lot of sense. In the world that we are living in, where inflation is running wild, why would you want to retire early and get a smaller Social Security benefit unless you had a home that was paid off and a massive war chest of savings or some other source of income in retirement, such as a pension or rental properties that produce cash flow, or perhaps some type of business that someone else manages for you that produces income? There are countless stories about Americans who can't survive because they blew through their retirement savings and their Social Security checks are too small to sustain them. A lot of these people retired with debt, or they retired as renters. Some have had to move in with family members because they can no longer live on their own. I think people need to be very careful. But what do I know? I'm just some guy on YouTube. What do you think? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. This next article aligns with part of what I was just talking about. I read this on foxbusiness.com, written by Megan Henney, entitled, "July Inflation Breakdown. Where are prices still rising the fastest?" According to the author, Inflation eased again in July, even as an uptick in the cost of rent, groceries, and auto insurance kept prices uncomfortably high for millions of Americans. Ladies and gentlemen, let this sink in for a moment. The things that people actually need are getting uncomfortably high. Everyone needs housing and groceries. A lot of people need to worry about auto insurance unless they live in an urban area with good transportation. I, for one, am not getting too excited about inflation supposedly easing. The author went on to say, rent costs are up 5.1% from the same time last year. Food is up 2.2% from the same time last year, and groceries are up 1.1% more than they were last year. Here are my thoughts. Perhaps this is why we keep hearing about businesses that are struggling or closing down. Perhaps this is why we keep hearing about layoffs in the news. Consumers have less money to spend into the economy, especially on discretionary items. Many are trying their best to keep their heads above water and just pay for the necessities in life. To make matters worse, starting in October of this year, Biden's student loan on-ramp program ends. I have to wonder how many people will fall into delinquency and eventually default because they can't afford to make their student loan payments. There are a lot of people right now who aren't making these payments, but we aren't hearing much about it because of Biden's on-ramp program, which is protecting these people from delinquency and default. It's game over starting in October of this year. I read some of the comments beneath this article. I'll share some of them with you. One commenter said, the only reason inflation is looking like it is slowing down at the moment is because businesses are doing discounts to drive customers in, hoping they buy other things at higher prices to make up for the loss on these sale items. These prices are not here for good. When prices on goods drop and stay there, then inflation will really be coming down. Just another case of the government cooking the books to make it look like things are getting better. The next commenter said, the categories of goods that affect folks day in and day out, like rent, utilities, and auto insurance, have rates of inflation far higher than the CPI number politicians like to talk about. The last comment that I'll share with you came from someone who said, any way you cut it, this is bad for everyone. And truthfully, nothing looks like we could ever get even close to 2019 life again. Well, ladies and gentlemen, these people have some strong opinions. What do you think about all this? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. Here's a really interesting story that I saw today. I read this on foxbusiness.com, written by Michael Dorgan, titled, Theme Park Revenues Take a Dive as Inflation High Costs Bite. According to the author, some of the top theme park operators in the U.S. have seen a drop in revenue as family budgets continue to be stretched amid high inflation and rising costs. Disney, Universal, and Six Flags have all reported lower second quarter earnings for their theme parks this year. It marks a roller coaster few years for the industry following a surge in visitors after the pandemic. Well, my friends, how the tides have turned. Life certainly has gotten more difficult for countless Americans in recent years. Many are struggling financially and just don't have the money to visit theme parks unless they put it on the credit card. It's not cheap to visit these places or eat at these places. I really don't know how some people have the money to do this. I have a friend that recently took his family to Disney World in Florida, and he spent over $5,000 on his vacation. Another friend of mine went there and spent even more than this. Look on the bright side, though. For those who can afford to visit these places, they may eventually experience shorter lines. I'm a little skeptical about that, though. Lines at these kinds of places are usually pretty ridiculous. What do you think about all this? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. Stay healthy and wealthy. I'll see everyone in the next video.